let loose. Think about what could happen if you really let yourself to feel good in your life. You've seen the people that maybe gave you those beliefs. Like, do you like their lives? Hello everybody, so I'm just here on the dock, I would say, or it's a very cute small place where I just like recharge, and I get to think a little bit. And I was thinking about one conversation that I had with my client, that we were just talking about feeling. We were really talking about how it is actually so simple. It takes a little bit of effort, and it really like challenges you whether you want to live the life on, let's say, easy mode, if someone would want to say like that. As I'm referencing like easy mode, it's gonna be based on your easy mode. It's gonna be based on your skills. You know, in the life of someone who loves coding, my life would be pretty tough. But in a life of my own, when I love to sing, when I love to speak about psychology, help other people, when I love coaching, it's easy. Like, for me, it's easy. And I'm not saying that easy life will be like the life on the beach. It's more of a choose your moments of heart that are sometimes tough, but it's worth it for you. So this is what I wanted to specify, because there is a easy life, but it has to be your life. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to clear out. And end of the commercial break. What I tend to notice is that once you get on that life on easy mode, you actually realize how simple the journey was, how so clear the way to achieve that was. And it's kind of a paradox, because it's super simple, and so we don't like really simple things in life, what I notice, or people just like things like in systems that are super complicated, that have all these, conditions. But there is one big proof that you deserve to live a life on a simple mode, and that's just the thing that you're here. It's the thing that you're holding a phone, that you're in front of a computer watching this video, that you're alive, that you can breathe, you can drink water, and that you can just look up on the sky and just sense the feeling of living. Like, this is the proof, this is like a ticket for the choice. You get to choose, like, whether you want to live the life that you really enjoy, or whether you want to continue bumping into problems that wouldn't be there if you were more assertive, or bumping into people that wouldn't be there if you wouldn't be a people pleaser. And I tend to have this so much, like, usually my whole life I would be people pleasing others, I would be around people, or I would stay around people that were just so draining. But why kept I coming back to these people, or why kept I coming back to the job that I really didn't like? What I realized, it was just rooted in my beliefs. I believed that a job doesn't have to feel good. I believe that. Like, I believe that job has to give you money to pay the rent, to get something to eat, and that's it. And that's how I lived, because this was like the programming. I just inherited it, and I didn't notice until I noticed. And this is literally the thing, like, how simple it is, but many people are just it's even comfortable for them to suffer. I mean, it's so ridiculous to hear that, maybe, but brains are like this, nervous system is like that. If you take relationships, if you've been, I don't know, raised in a relationship that people were screaming towards each other, and now you're in a relationship and you tend to raise voice. Well, where did you learn that? It's everything from our upbringing, I would say, from our childhood. It's almost all of these beliefs are inherited. You have to just inherit some kind of beliefs that make you survive in the world and that make you belong to some kind of tribe, aka your family or your friend group or whatever. But you just need to belong to survive. That's the most important thing. And so then maybe 95% take this package of those beliefs that, you've seen the people that maybe gave you those beliefs. Like, do you like their lives? If you have in mind people that really learned you how to live, learned you all these habits, learned you how to communicate with people, do they live the life you want to live? No? So change it. You have to just change this programming, let's say. I don't want to come out as someone who's, talking only about this woo-woo stuff, about the subconscious mind. This is just the root of it. And if we really want to make it effectively, we have to get to the root, and the root is always your beliefs. I have tried to think about it from sideways, from left to right, from up and down, fucking circles. It always came down to freaking belief systems. Also, we can look at this from, let's say, a common sense. I don't know, we might call it common sense, or I'm gonna call it common sense. If you want to do something and you really enjoy it and it's fun and easy for you, why do we keep stripping ourselves of activities that are just so enjoyable? You know that you can literally, if you really would follow that inner voice or the gut or the intuition, you can literally get paid out of it when you do it for maybe 2 to 3 years officially, and you kind of suck in the beginning, but then after you're kind of okay, I know what I'm doing, and people love others just love people that know what they're doing. Literally, this is why you get paid. You know what you're doing, so you help others that don't know what you're doing, and you get paid, because this is just how it works. Instead of seeing the potential, we might maybe see the threat of being judged or the threat of failing. But I love this line that I've read, is that when the goal is experience, everything in life is a win. And I just think that it's so true. Continuing with that common sense. And if you don't like something, if you don't like the job that you're in currently, and you still keep talking about it but not doing any change, you could be one step from your better life, but you don't make it because you think that the change will be so hard. It might not be. And then you're in the place where you really get to be honest with yourself and strengthen the relationship with your own true self, because only by knowing your true self you can get clear on what you want, what you are here to do. When you just don't want to do something and you still keep doing it, ask yourself why. Because there might be some kind of belief behind this tolerance of yours. So many people are praised for tolerance. I know that I was super praised for being the quiet one, being the nice one, the one that always takes commands and just does whatever they tell her to do. I didn't really want to disappoint anyone. That's why I kept doing it, because they have praised me for that. And so don't you have something similar? And if you really want to think about it, just really think about it. If you don't want to think about it, you don't have to even watch this video, because I would love if, and I wish that these videos would spark an action within people, and not just another thought loop that would result in another overthinking, and therefore in the same, self-sabotaging. It would nurture literally the self-sabotaging behavior. And so yeah, like get kind of crazy, like, and what like, who's gonna tell you? No one will know that you're gonna think about like what life can be. No one will know that. So you can just think for yourself, like, let loose. Think about what could happen if you really let yourself to feel good in your life, if you really followed what you know that you should follow, or should, like what you're here to do. I don't like the word should, but during the next 7 days, if you would just do things that rather feel good, and consider staying in things, staying in relationships, in places that just no longer feel good. Like, if you would just let yourself think about this, by the end of the 7 days, you might really find a very clear answer to what to do next, if you really want to feel better and if you want to get out of this loop. Because these loops keep us comfortable, honestly. Like, it was comfortable for me to people please and then just go on with life. It was very normal for me. But now I see that when I stripped out of that, and when I just don't feel good in a relationship or in a situation, I just leave. And I always feel better after. I always feel like I am in control. And the feeling is just so freeing. I'm telling you. Recently I've just ended, I would say, not a relationship, but it didn't make me feel good. Like, the connection didn't make me feel good. And I knew that if I would end it, then I make space for something else. And so I created space for something else, and something new showed up. And it's always like this. You just tell your life that you trust your gut, therefore you trust your life. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if this made any structural sense. I just was talking how, with my train of thoughts. So I hope this made some kind of sense. Thank you so much for being here. And if you really want to talk about yourself more, we can do that. I'm gonna again link down the calendar. You can feel free and find the time that suits you the best, so we can talk about you, your situation, and the ways I can help out. Thank you so much for being here. Stay awesome. See you next time.